Hello friends and welcome to the Gesundheit Kitchen. I'm Hans Ruffert and I'm joined today by my friend Stacy Martin from Seahorse Snacks, and we have been talking about breakfast all day long to the point where it's no longer breakfast time, but it's always good to eat breakfast. So we have been talking about sort of the more involved breakfast, but we wanted to focus now on the everyday, the utilitarian, the workhorse, the go-to. And you're going to find what works best for you, right? I mean, this isn't going to be one size fits all.
Nope.
And it takes a little bit of practice to kind of fine tune and tweak that. So, as a fellow seahorse with no stomach, let's walk through your go-tos.
Sure. So this is probably like my everyday, probably 6 days out of 7. This is what I eat. So my favorite is this ratio coconut yogurt.
Okay.
It's got 15 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. No sugar alcohols, so it's really great. But I also like to add things to it. Sometimes if I'm just on the go, grab a spoon in the yogurt,
Yep.
That's what we get. But my favorite is fresh raspberries, or I'll do strawberries or blueberries, but raspberries is my favorite. Then I put the yogurt in, and then I like some crunch, so there's a couple options that I add. I like to stack things, so I recently found this Kodiak granola, which is fantastic. It has 16 grams of protein per serving.
Right.
And so I'm not going to eat a whole serving, but I'll probably eat a half a serving, so that's another 8 grams of protein that I'm able to plop in here.
Well, talk about stacking. We've used that word a couple times now, which I love that term, and quite honestly, I've not. I think I call it like sneaking or whatever. I'm always trying to like layer in, but
Yeah.
So let's talk about that concept though, because I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So I just, you start with a base of one thing, and then I try to find other ways to add to it. So if we start with 15 grams of protein, that's pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
Like my rule is it has to be 2 digits if I'm going to eat it.
There you go.
So that's sort of how I start with it. So if we can take our base of 15 and then add another 8, I mean, we're headed towards a good direction.
Right.
Another thing that I like, this is also a nut-based granola, and
Okay.
it's a woman-owned company based out of Illinois. So similar to my Seahorse
That's right.
Snacks. Also, sometimes I add my pecans on there just for crunch and flavor and more protein.
Yep.
So these are 3 options that I rotate to just jazz up my yogurt in the
And
morning.
you mentioned, so with raspberries, I think people don't realize how much fiber is in raspberry. They're a wonderful source of fiber, but talk about the freeze-dried.
Yeah, so I travel a lot, so I don't always have fresh fruit.
Right, it would be weird if you did. Yeah.
I don't have people to bring me
That's
fresh
right.
fruit on a regular. So I could either do frozen or recently I found freeze-dried. So these are really delicious. They're the same nutrition level. Also, they're crunchy.
Yeah.
So sometimes I pre-crunch the bag.
That's right.
And they'll make your yogurt this really beautiful color.
Oh, the little powder that's left at the very bottom of the bag,
Yes.
that stuff is gold.
Or you can just make the powder
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're crunchy. So sometimes I just crunch them up so then I don't have to crunch them in my yogurt. So yeah, it's a really easy way for me to still get my fruit and the extra flavor when I don't have fresh or frozen.
And just so you know, when you go shopping for the freeze-dried fruits, don't get sticker shock because you'll think, oh my God, this is really expensive. But honestly, for the amount the bang for the buck, you're not going to eat that entire package on one thing of yogurt, right?
No.
You could.
It
It's that
says it's
good.
1 serving.
Yeah,
and so these I got from Trader Joe's. There may not be a Trader Joe's near you, but the only ingredient are freeze-dried
Right,
raspberries. Like
right.
there's no anti-caking things. There's no additives. So that's one of the things that I particularly love
Yeah,
about
a little
this.
goes a long way, and I think that's what, to me, it's such a concentrated flavor. But there's this myth that healthy food costs more, and it can, right? Depending on where you shop, in any food, you can spend any amount you want to spend.
Absolutely.
But a little goes a long way, and I think it's worth the investment.
Yeah, and they have lots of variety too. So you could get mangoes, pineapples, whatever.
And all of them are good.
Yes, and they're fantastic.
Yep.
So this section is probably the workhorse of my breakfast story.
and the wonderful thing, again, it's so customizable. I think sometimes people, even though it's your go-to, because you've already got 5 or 6 different options here, it's not the same thing every day,
Yeah.
right? And when it's fig season or when it's blueberry season, you swap out. I mean, they're so customizable that don't fear the idea. I know some people think, oh, I'm just strapping on the feed bag and I'm eating the same thing every day.
Oh, no.
If it's becoming a chore, that's sort of your responsibility to keep it interesting, right?
Yeah,
And
switch it up.
easy to do.
Yeah. So this is the majority.
Perfect.
Then because I travel a lot, this oatmeal makes a really great travel option because I
Yep.
can just throw the packets in my suitcase. Most hotel breakfasts have milk, and they may have fruit or whatever.
Sure.
So my favorite is the chocolate chip. It doesn't have too much sugar. It's 10 grams of added sugar.
But
on
versus
the-
how much
on the-
protein?
It has 12 grams of protein, and then I
Right.
like to add milk to it instead of water when I make it. So
Yep.
that's another one of my stacking tricks. This Fairlife actually has more protein than regular milk in it. So this one has 13 grams per cup. You only need a third of a cup. So again, it's like the whole stacking thing. So it helps balance out the sugar. But yeah, so hot oatmeal, especially like when it starts to get a little cold outside,
Oh, yeah.
it's great. In the summers, I like to do overnight oats. So I, again, use the Kodiak protein oats, just the plain ones. And then I use Greek yogurt and milk. So then
Right.
that's
Again,
3.
Popping it in there.
So one of my favorite recipes is with peaches and pecans. So it's delicious. The peach truck peaches are my favorite. But any peaches are good peaches.
Sure.
But you could use any fruit with it also.
And honestly, the freeze dried in there too.
Yes.
Going back to the powder, I think that's such a great little resource. The gold on the bottom, mix it into an overnight oats. The whole thing will be hot pink and delicious.
And amazing, yeah, it's great. And then if I want something warm and I don't want oatmeal, I found these little ham and cheese croissants. You may have had these at Starbucks.
But for $8 a pop, or
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So these I get at Costco. It's 14 grams of protein. I usually cook them in the air fryer, so it's pretty quick. And they're also pretty easy to eat on the go. So this is like my breakfast go-tos.
I think that is fantastic. And you have promised me that we're going to do some air fryer classes together, because I will raise my hand and say that I've never used an air fryer.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that I'm averse to it, it's that in my history of cooking, I think I've tried every kitchen gadget except for that.
Okay.
And so sometimes I feel like I've sort of been duped in the past by other kitchen gadgets. So I'm not averse to the idea of an air fryer, and I've had so many people that I genuinely trust tell me that it's worth the counter space.
Yes.
Right, which is always at a premium.
It has changed my snacking game. So
Oh,
it
that's
has
great.
allowed me to eat better things faster when I'm like trying to do stuff. So when you don't have time to preheat the oven,
Right.
bake the things, like it's opened up a world of new options. for
That
me.
is fantastic.
So, more
Well,
to come.
and I do want to mention, so on something like this, these are a fantastic option. But if you skip back an episode, we just did some little small frittatas in muffin cups, and those kind of things. Anytime that you can prepare it yourself, that's always your best option, right? So I just want to reiterate that, because that's going to be your cheapest option. It's going to be you control exactly what you like in there.
Yep.
But this is fully embracing the fact that that's not always the option.
Correct.
And especially when you're traveling, or even if you're visiting friends and family, and you don't want to be that burden because your way of eating is a little different than theirs, right? So
Yep.
all of this is simple, it's easy, it's accessible. It's
Yes.
not that they have to drive on the other side of town to find a special ingredient. All of this stuff you can find at any major grocery store.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I love that. You don't want to be a burden. And how many times have we put ourselves in physical discomfort because we're trying to make other people feel good? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
Well, they think, well, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the one that has to raise my hand and go, I can't eat that.
Right.
So these sort of low maintenance, easy to produce, easy to source options are gold on that level.
Also, I believe if you made these for other people, that they wouldn't know that there's anything different about it either.
that is
They're
such a
just
great
really
point.
delicious.
Yeah, that is such a great point, because I think people, it's almost like a paradigm. They think, well, you're having to eat weird. And well, honestly, what I'm eating is fairly simple and fairly basic. And if you were to try it, it's not that,
Yeah.
not putting you out to eat fresh berries and
Yogurt?
high protein yogurt.
Yeah, and
or a good
oatmeal.
oatmeal, or a ham and Swiss cheese croissant, or whatever, right? It's just some reason it's just the idea of stepping outside their comfort zone, but really it's just a variation in theme of comfort food, right?
Absolutely.
Super. Well, thank you for sharing that. Lots of great ideas, as always. Anytime you have ideas, please feel free to share them with us. And we're going to have Stacy on the show a lot more. We have so much in common beyond our, physical strangeness, which is we've obviously learned to embrace. So until next time, take care of yourself. Or if you're the caregiver, thank you so much for taking care of your loved one. You have no idea how much that means to the person who doesn't want to raise their hand and doesn't want to be the burden. So thank you for taking the time to learn how to take care of them. It really means a lot. Until next time, take care. Good night.